morning. I hope you had a delightful weekend. Mine was filled with friendship and art. We actually went to an exposition from one of our neighbors, which was mind-blowing, and he's going to create a piece of art for us, which was really good. So we had an extraordinary weekend filled with relaxation and also friendship. It was really good. So I hope that was what you had or more in the weekend too. It was such a full week last week. I feel so full. So many extraordinary things started to happen, like a lot of people joining the new human. I loved all the conversations. I love the new yous who are going to co-create with me one-on-one. I'm so excited about that. That just feels so good, like so many of you. So anyway, I just feel very, very full. And then for this week, I actually wanted to talk about different stuff, but I thought, no, let's talk about this in the Circle of Light. Let's talk about this in the embodiment class. So I was very like, no, I'm not going to talk here. I'm going to talk here about something else. So what I thought, sometimes I read some posts of you or I see things, and what struck me was like the co-creation with or in your reality. So sometimes what starts to happen when we become so aware that we are the ones initiating, that we are the ones creating, that we are the ones, that we start to be very much focused on ourselves, which is great because that actually gives you the awareness, that gives you all the things. It's clear what you do want. It's also clear what you don't want. There's a certain specific clarity. But then sometimes it's not happening in the reality. That whatever you want to happen is not happening in the reality. Whether it is a relationship, whether it is great communication with your guides, whether it is something in your business or in your family, it's like you know who you are. You know who you are, what you want, and then you go into the reality and it's like, woof, it's not it. Or it's almost it, but not really it, right? So it's like, oh, it's a close call, and probably not. So I was like excited to talk about how can you amplify your game when it comes down to effectively co-creating with your reality. Because yes, you know all of this, and then there's this next level co-creation in life with your reality. So that was a topic where I felt called into, and I'm actually very excited to see what they want to open this with. We are delighted to be here, and we feel excited to dive into the topic of this week in depth, because we know you are pros, you are knowing the basics, you are mastering a lot. And there might still be these moments, these elements in your life where you get stuck, or where you tend to repeat, or where you tend to question or doubt yourself, or where you're not 100% fully owning your capacity to create, to manifest, to experience that what you came to experience. And so we feel very, very excited to take you onto this journey this week. And so let's start with the basics. Your channel is that what attracts and that what experiences. It's both the reality. So it's what it attracts on one way, but also what it experiences. Through your senses, you will experience the reality, and through your energy vortex and how you interpretate your senses, that is what attracts the new. So it's how you interpretate the reality, that is through your senses, through what you see, through what you see, through what you see, through what you feel, through what you hear, through what you think, through what you, all of that. That is literally coming in. Well, it used to be in this way, it would come in and you would just like take it for what it is, and then that would be it. You would just be this mass collective, like repetitive energy vortex. Now, the beauty now is you, as an awakened, you see the potential that you can actually influence this reality. Not only that, you can actually change, elevate, and shift and ignite your reality. which is exceptional. So you can rise yourself above that what other people are living, that what most on this planet are living, so that you cannot just do that for yourself, but you're actually changing the vibration of the collective by you being very intentional and aware when it comes down to the interpretation of your reality. So it means I am now able to no longer live in the reality I'm living, where most, not that long ago, like 50 years ago, they would be born into this reality and they would just live it. Some by accident kind of lived a different one, a more elevated one, because they figured stuff out. But most just were born into this reality, and I'm living in this pattern of my parents, of this country, of this, like being a woman. I would live this and I would repeat it. There would be like almost no escape, no elevation available out of that what you were living. Now you are living in times where you actually have the capacity and the ability to start shifting the interpretation through your senses. So now it's no longer only like, let's be very assertive and certain, almost masculine overdrive when it comes down to what I want. That is really not what it is. Of course, it is important to set your boundaries, but the truth is that is just to escape from the current reality. The boundary setting is something you need so that your interpretation can be elevated. Okay, so that once you can set your boundaries, I'm clear, this is not what I want. I'm clear, this is what I actually do want. Let's focus on what I do want. This is what I want. Okay. Instead of fighting that what you don't want, now it's looking at what you do want. And as you are looking at what you do want and you soften yourself in this, it's not a hardened experience where you have to battle your way out of this. It's like, I'm so crystal clear, unshakable, doof, it's done. I do not need to prove to that reality that this is what I want. Some of you are proving the reality that this is what you don't want. And so what happens is you start to continue to be in that pattern. You start to continue not to attract the right man, not to attract the right client, not to attract the right relationship with your love, with your child, with the family, with whatever you want, because you're in your interpretation fighting that. Instead of saying, okay, I know what I want, it's here. Now let's engage with the reality by starting to interpret it through my senses in a different way. So when I feel this, it doesn't say it is this. When I think this, it doesn't say it means this. When I touch this and it feels this way, it doesn't mean it is. When you start interpreting it as for what it is, you're just repeating what you already know. Now, when you want to shift this, it might feel like mud, but when you can see it as the most beautiful, radiant fountain of possibility, can you feel how that piece will elevate the whole? So when this relationship is not, oh no, this is the part I don't like. Oh no, this is not, no. Oh look, this is the, no. Instead of doing that, it's like, woof, I see everything. This part I love. This part I love. I don't even need to say this I don't like. I just say this is what I love and this is what I love. Do you not think that people can shift actually into that potential field, into all that you love? But as you start saying this is what I don't love, or being critical in your mind, making notes, taking score, what starts to happen, that starts to become part of the field. And so now you start repeating these almost experience every time because you focus on it. So let's start allowing yourself to set clear boundaries, yet not to live in the boundaries. Set the boundaries, but live in the middle and start playing with, I don't need to protect myself. I'm not against this, who I am. I'm actually pro. That means I'm starting to allow in all that I like. I start to see it. I start to interpret it. everything I want starts coming my way. And I'm not being too serious about the thoughts I'm having and the feelings I'm having, because the truth is they will change all the time. What is solid is my vision. I know this. I know how to elevate myself beyond this reality. And so it is. Hallelujah. Welcome. It's a good Monday morning. I love it. It was good. So start listening to this, because the truth is you can go through this like, oh, I already know. I promise you, they were very specific. They were talking right straight to you. Start looking where you are doing this against thing, or where you're not even setting any boundaries, or where you're starting to keep score, take notes of all you don't want in your reality, in your daily life. Start seeing where you can clean out and clear out your interpretation, not taking yourself too serious, not taking yourself and your thoughts and your emotions too serious. Because when you live that way, taking that very serious, it's pretty hard to elevate. When you just take it for what it is, this is creating this emotion, this is creating this, and you start to raise the bar into something which is bigger. Now you're literally crumbling the old and tapping into the new. This is what is currently available. You don't need to do that old school stuff. It's just, what am I being plugged into? Anyway, I hope this was clear. I am looking forward to speaking to some of you today, and some of you I will speak on tomorrow morning. Today is the last day to be able to watch the replays for free. So if you want to, you can still catch a few episodes. You can also buy them if you want to. They're 22 now. They go up. I am wishing you an extraordinary Monday where you will start literally understanding this, what we talked about, and living it. I love you. Have a great Monday. Bye, loves.